Hey everybody, Nick Espinosa, your chief security fanatic here, and today we are talking about the US military because a private surveillance firm is going to be monitoring the US military for extremism. Here's what's going on, and this is actually rather interesting and a little disturbing. Now, as part of the Biden administration's crackdown on domestic extremism, the Pentagon plans to launch a pilot program for screening social media content for extremist material, according to Internal Defense Department documents, as well as a source with direct knowledge of this program. Now, an extremist steering committee led by Bishop Garrison, who's a senior advisor to the Secretary of Defense, is currently designing the social media screening pilot program, which will continuously monitor military personnel for quote-unquote concerning behaviors, according to a Pentagon briefing in late March. Although in the past the military has balked at surveilling its members for extremist political views due to First Amendment protections, the pilot program will rely on a private surveillance firm in order to circumvent First Amendment restrictions on the U.S. government monitoring. And that is according to a senior, Pentagon official. Though the firm has not yet been selected, the current frontrunner is Babel Street, a company that sells powerful surveillance tools, including social media monitoring software. Now, Babel Street has drawn criticism for its practice of buying bulk cellular location data and selling it to federal national security agencies like the Secret Service, who rely on private companies to bypass warrant requirements normally imposed on government bodies seeking to collect data. In November, Vice News reported that the U.S. Military Special Operations Command once used Babel Street's products, Locate X, to track locations of individuals for Special Forces operations. One method Babel controversially uses was to purchase location data associated with users of a popular Muslim prayer app. And here we go. Now, it is unclear to what extent Congress is actually aware of this program, if at all. When asked about this program, and excuse me, I'm a little under the weather today. When asked about this program, a spokesperson for Representative Don Bacon, a member of the House Armed Services Committee, said they were not actually aware of this. And to quote Representative Bacon, "I have discussed this with our defense team, and as of right now, we have not heard anything from the DoD that would confirm this story." And basically, the Senate Armed Services Committee did not respond for a request for comment, so it seems like the Congress, that is the oversight for the U.S. military, is unaware. Now, the Department of Defense hinted at the program in an April 9th press release about its Countering Extremism working group, which says it will make recommendations on, quote, incorporating machine learning and natural language processing into social media screening platforms, as well as ensure training addresses issues raised by commanders and supervisors on, quote unquote, gray areas, such as reading, following, and liking extremist material and content in social media platforms and forums. Now, the pilot program will use keywords to identify potential extremists, though coming up with a list of terms without running afoul of speech protections has proven to be challenging, according to this senior Pentagon official. Now, to this end, the military plans to consult with experts from across the political spectrum to help develop the pilot program. As The Intercept previously reported, the military's Countering Extremism Working Group drafted a list of potential consultants that included anti-Muslim and Christian conservative groups, so we will see where this goes. And what's interesting about this is that if they're going to start monitoring social media, people will simply stop using it if they believe that they are an extremist, or the military rather will believe that they're an extremist, so they will simply stop posting about their beliefs, or they will go to other platforms that maybe the military doesn't yet know about or hasn't caught up with the zillion smaller social media platforms that are out there. This is, I think, a lot of potential, for abuse. Now, the other side of that is that no military wants extremists, in their midst. And we have a lot of reporting that has been going on for the last decade plus of basically people that will join things like white nationalist group like the neo-Nazis, basically being recruited as they're getting out of the military. Maybe they're disenfranchised because, they spend a tour of duty over in the Middle East or another theater of conflict, and now they're coming home to basically extremist groups that are welcoming them within their ranks. On the January 6th Capitol riots, for example, basically military tactics were deployed by some of the people there, as caught on camera, and also including things like, the way and the methodology you would breach a building, as you are filing up the stairs, and there are literally videos of this. using those kind of tactics. So it makes sense that the U.S. military would be concerned, about this. But again, they're trying to circumvent the free speech and free First Amendment protections that our soldiers have. Even though when you sign up for the military, you're pretty much signing your life up over for the term that you signed for. So they're circumventing that by using a third party. So obviously there are privacy implications in that as well. Does signing then a document, let's say going into the military moving forward, basically say that I'm going to attest that I'm not an extremist, I'm going to allow a third party to data mine me as I am basically part of the military, whatever branch I'm at, as I'm using social media or any other device. These are things I think that need to be addressed. We'll see where this goes, but this was actually really surprising that the Pentagon itself essentially wanted to use a third party to surveil its own troops. And I think that really speaks to the time that we are in right now, which is very divided. And so that is your news of the day. And again, I apologize for being slightly under the weather here. Thanks for putting up with that. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, everyone.